Chat, we have Toxiic versus Shadi in Manfield Snowy to fit the seasons of Frosty Fest. It's a $100 show match courtesy of Epic. And we've got Toxiic, who actually did not end up qualifying for the top 8 of Salt9, and Shadi, who has looked like maybe the best player out of Saudi Arabia right now in the 1v1 game, which is crazy to say, considering the fact that Rawas did play in the Salt Mine. You could argue Nupo didn't get a chance to play in the Salt Mine, so I think an impending match against Nupo and Shadi is probably, you know, due here in the near future. And I guess technically Shadi did not play against Rawas. I think Rawas lost to Tempo, who then went on to lose to Shadi. So by the transited property, maybe you could have Shadi ahead of Rawas, but I'm sure people would love to see that head-to-head. So Shadi definitely prepping now for his days in the Salt Mine coming up later this week. And we'll see how he does against Toxiic, who hopefully, you know, if you haven't seen this tournament or if it hasn't been fully released on YouTube, know that, you know, you might get it slightly spoiled. Toxiic played in Hootie Who's recent tournament. So now's your chance to leave if you want to watch all that when it comes out on YouTube, you know, without getting spoiled. But I want to say that Toxiic won that one. Toxiic, I believe, won Hootie Who's tournament. Let me see. December Duels is what it was called. And I'm going to go check it here. Yeah, Toxiic taking it down in a sweep to win a nice tournament with a few of the top 1v1ers. So, a decent match here for Shadi to try and get warm for the Salt Mine. We'll see if he can't handle Toxiic. Does anybody know off the top of their head where Toxiic fell? You know, I think he played at least some of the qualifiers, if not maybe all of the Salt Mine qualifiers, but I'm not sure if we ever got to, or I'm not sure if I can remember exactly who he fell to, because it must have been some pretty solid players. Lost to Rawas, stage 3. Okay, that's pretty tough. The fact that Rawas was even in stage 3. What a save. Also, it was like a slight own goal. Nice slow play from Shadi to get himself on the board. Did Toxiic play in stage 4? Salt Mine EU starts Wednesday, by the way. We will be live. Watch party in all of Salt Mine is the game plan. So you can check it out here if you want. It'll, of course, be on Johnny's stream as the source. Toxic's been rocking this Magician's Goal Explosion or whatever. Where did this come from? Is this a reference to anything, or is this just... It surprises me to see so many people using it. I don't know. Just because it doesn't seem to refer to anything that I know of. Toxiic only played Qual 1 and 3. Interesting. I wonder if he had some sort of issue preventing him from playing the other ones. Because if you're making it deep enough to get eliminated by Rawas, chances are, you know, you're looking pretty good in 1v1. As Shadi use a reset shot to miss wide. Toxiic will roll in a third goal. You already missed the 9 to 5? I'm glad to hear that, obviously. You know, I want you guys to enjoy the stream. 9 to 5-a-thon was a great time. To some degree, I missed the 9 to 5-a-thon as well. We got a lot of household chores done today, this morning, though, because the 9 to 5-a-thon wasn't around. I'm not going to lie to you. And the good news is you guys aren't being robbed of streams completely. I promised I'd be back. Here we are with some show matches to the tune of how we used to do it before the 9 to 5-a-thon. You'll be watching here just so 20 people don't go over to Johnny's chat to call you a traitor. I hope people aren't doing that live in Johnny's chat. Especially considering Vacadus has been in Johnny's chat much longer than he had been in ours. I notice I still have the chat with the background on it. I wonder how we feel about that. I was planning on switching that up for future, but I guess we'll rock it for today. See how people feel about it. I saw a couple people logged on and, you know, clocked in at 9 a.m. Mountain Time today, which was a very nice homage to our long time working at Feer Corporation before it went under. Shadi down 2 here in game number 1. As he goes for a ceiling reset. He's going to try and dash and see if he can't cut this back on target before Toxiic gets back. He wanted to go top shelf, but a bit of a mechanical mistake. And that's going to lead to a Toxiic potential game win, I would say. I think he really needed that goal. Even if Toxiic doesn't score here, getting possession might be enough to waste away the time needed to get these 2 goals back. Shadi, heavy first touch. Toxic's going to be able to take it away, grab his own boost, and boom, a long shot. That'll win game number 1. Any idea on the planned schedule post 9 to 5? You know, if I could feel like I could get good matches to go live with every weekday, you know, there's a world in which we do that, but I would think that in general that won't happen. That being said, I do think we plan to be live every weekday this week, because I think we, in general, want to help with tournaments like Arm the Rebels and watch party things like Salt 9 whenever possible. I don't know if you guys remember me saying once the 9 to 5-thon was over, I'm still going to try and be live to watch party any big events. And Salt 9 EU Finals certainly counts as that. And so that ends up making us be live every day this week. In the future, it might mean we're live on weekends and not some weekdays because of RLCS stuff might be happening on weekends. Shadi going to be able to put in 1 for the road, but certainly not going to matter much here in this series. In fact, yeah, he's like, I know I just scored, but I want to go to the next game. I didn't mean to force us all to watch a goal replay. Game number 1 going to Toxiic. Game number 2. Toxiic and Shadi. Does Toxiic always have this low of camera settings? I don't know why it just hit me right now on this kickoff, but they do seem especially low.
Ever since I lost my 9 to 5 job at Feer Corp, my life has gone into shambles.
I hate to hear that, event code. I'm sorry. Also, normally we don't have TTS on during show matches. The TTS playing there is a, you know, artifact technically of the 9 to 5-a-thon. Now, if it were to not get abused, I guess maybe there's a world in which it would stay on during show matches, but something tells me we don't live in that perfect world. Winners, take me to tier 1. Okay, yeah, there it is. And just like that, Trump is gonna meow his way into TTS being off for show matches once again. Hey, good run though. Good run though. I mean, you guys got 1 full TTS out before it turned off in show matches again. Tell you what, that's maybe longer than, you know, would have been predicted. Really low scoring series between these two so far. Really, the scoring only happened towards the end of last game when it was already over. I would say it was around 4-2 when it had been decided. And right now, 1-0, 1 minute and 30 into game number 2. Shadi will power slide cuts to try and gain control here while on low boost. He doesn't feel like he can grab boost and still make saves. Now he's finally gonna have bought himself the opportunity. Really strong forward touch here from Shadi. I wonder if that's not a mistaken forward touch. I think he wants to pop that ball up into an air dribble. When you push it so far ahead of you, you can't really get out around it, underneath it, and make an outplay. You just have to spend all your boost catching back up to the ball, which is not ideal. But Shadi will continue his attack. Can he win this 50 into a good spot? Not the net. Toxiic covered that, but at least into the opposite corner where he's stolen boost. And he has Toxiic low now. Toxiic flicks the ball away, trades possession for an opportunity to reset on 100. And another air dribble leaving a bit to be desired there from shadi. And it's Toxic. He tap it into the corner. Try and switch the field. Ultimately going to allow shadi to take this one off the wall. His 50 is good. And the second goal comes past the halfway mark. 2-0. With 2 minutes 10 left to go. A couple different fake challenges. By the time Toxic actually did, he's dunked and scored on. Shadi coming into his back corner. Toxic sticking around, trying to force as much boost out of Shadi's tank as possible as he tries to get a possession going. Although I'd say Shadi won it about as well as he could have. Now sidewall dribble. He's going to go past it, bump Toxic, and get a third. Toxic, again, staying patient here on the back line. Last time it led to a couple fakes into a 50 that gets him dunked. This time, he's going to get bumped, as shadi is essentially forcing him to try and attack these takes earlier. Toxic soft touch to the back wall. Shadi did not pick up the 100 boost, so he's going to be forced to path here into this midfield one. Toxic prepping the double, and I am so surprised to see him stick with it for so long, because I thought for sure he'd expect Shadi to save it. You could see him lining this up and saying, oh, I'm going to stick with it here, but I guess he had the read that Shadi wasn't going to be able to get that high before the double. And he's going to slam it into the ground for his first goal. It's going to take him 3 minutes, 30 seconds to get it. But the good news for him is his defense has been relatively sound. He's still within 2 despite the complete lack of scoring. And all it would take is a nice long shot here, and now he's within 1. This is Feer TTS? No, I have yet to upgrade Feer TTS. Believe it or not, chat, I've been quite busy. I mean, I'm sure I would have been able to be live at 9 to 5-a-thon time had it been extended to today. But we have packed every moment pretty much since we ended there on Friday, as much as we possibly could. Shadi, ball to air dribble. This last bit of boost, just deciding to try and roll the ball towards the net, but not nearly enough power. And now Toxic, just like that, is going to be able to tie the game. And despite minutes of arguable dominance from Shadi, in the sense that he was controlling the game, the only one really getting shots or having chances on nets, if you do not extend out the lead by a ton, anything can happen here in 1v1 late. 30 seconds left to go. Shadi definitely wins this kickoff here that might decide the game. High chip this time, one that he can actually get underneath and make a play with instead of pushing it out too far in front of him. And this time he gets the reset and rolls a soft shot past Toxic. I want to watch it from Toxic POV. I mean, Shadi's actually kind of protecting the ball this whole way. Bit of a matrix around the ball from Toxic to finish. Because Shadi sets up his reset on Toxic's side of the ball, I think that forces him to hesitate on his challenge, because he doesn't want to end up just running into Shadi. What is going on from Shadi? Toxic is going to roll it in for free when he notices the mistake. But Shadi on the side wall, oh my goodness, he just single jumps. He's expecting Toxic to chip it up. And even the quick backflip back to the wall is not going to be enough to recover in time. Now Toxic has won a kickoff straight towards the net. It's going to force Shadi to pre-flip save it. And now with 5 seconds left to go, will we see the DS challenge here from Toxic? Oh, Shadi pre-jumped it, so now Toxic has no defender. He just needs to get it to net without anybody there. Reset shot, and it'll hit the ground. He fails the DS challenge, and he really needed to succeed, because if he could have kept it in the air, it was going to be a game win. Instead, we'll go to OT game number 2. Shadi, touch to the backboard. Toxic controls it into the corner, but it'll be a boost steal. Toxic taking a trip to pick up as many pads as possible while Shadi sets up his shot. Low 50 is stopped by Toxic, but the pre-flip follow-up will give Shadi the win as he ties up the series 1-1. Nice work by Mr. Shadi. Game number 3, Toxic and Shadi. I think Shadi, obviously for multiple reasons, needed that game to go his way, if not just to be, down 0-2 and need a reverse sweep. But after mentally having the edge for 4 minutes, if you had let it slip away, it's going to be a really tough time. He's trying to swing around and get a demo on Toxic here. Didn't connect, and Toxic is fast enough with the little boost he does have to punish and be the first to score. Shadi, interestingly, trying to take the ball back into his own half. Toxic almost protecting him from doing that. Now looking to undercut Toxic in order to throw him off his game. He's able to steal a couple boosts, but had to reset the field. So in the process, Toxic able to reset on 100. And now Shadi, his finishes on these air dribbles have not been what they need to be if he wants to perform at the highest level of ones. Toxic's not bad here. He does overshoot the net, but it's not the end of the world. He probably keeps Shadi guessing. He just passed Shadi the ball, but quick enough that Shadi not fully prepared to capitalize on that opportunity. Just tosses it right back, and now the length of the field. Another test of Shadi's air dribbles. What happened there? That was a little bit of lag. that had to have been a little bit of lag on my end. The lag dash from Shadi just launched him forward. It didn't really lead to that insane of a shot, but it certainly would have been really tough to read if Toxic had my connection. Shadi trying to flick top left, overshoots it. Again, another fairly low-scoring game. Oh, what a ceiling pinch from Shadi, who is going to punish. Oh, not punish Toxic, who had went up to ceiling height. Toxic able to recover back down and stop the pinch from going in. Now chasing down Shadi to force him to jump, get on ball, and really hand it back over to him. Long shot available for Toxic. Shadi pre-jumps and does not get the save. (2-0) for Toxic now. A similar style to game number 2, but it was in Shadi's favor. Very low scoring. Shadi is going to get pool shotted into his first goal a little bit before halftime, as these guys both go standard kickoff, but Shadi getting around the play in between Toxic and the ball. That's able to get him his goal. Shadi is going to chase down this ball to get Toxic off of it, but that is going to cost him to go gung-ho and not really be able to slow down and make an actual play with it. So he eventually does have to give up control. And Toxic will do a little ground game. That is a soft flick by Toxic standards. We have seen him match the Moxie flicks many a times. Toxic. Dunk, little camera check. As he goes for a power shot. Can he get the follow-up shot? He barely used any boost to make that initial save, which means he should have a ton left over. But again, his aerial play has landed way short of the net for the most part, and when it has made it there, it's been off the back of just a couple late touches, no resets, which have not really done well to trick Toxic into any bad plays defensively. Now this is a great setup from Toxic on the other end. Chips this one up, gets a reset, and now allows tons of different ways that this shot could finish, and is taking it at an angle which is going to force Shadi to come really far off the back wall in order to make the save. Toxic dunk, straight to the net, 4-1. Shadi's going to need a little bit more of a volatile matchup here late after his delay kickoff does not work. He needs 3 goals the next minute 35. Shadi read the Toxic challenge, but got bumped in the process. He's going to go up and pinch this one away. And I thought it was really just to stop Toxic shot, but looks like he's going to try and stick around and make something out of it. He's going to have to half flip out of a deep challenge as Toxic just barely not able to get it in front of the net in time. Shadi now trying to catch and cut it away. Toxic not allowing him to do so. Going to get the wall pinch in his favor. No boost for him. Shadi has momentum, but not the best of clears. Ooh, Toxic missed 100. Shadi needs to punish and needs a couple kickoff goals as well. This time the reset shot is a much better mix-up than what we've seen from him when he started dribbles farther out from the net. This time it starts from inside the midfield line. And he's able to get the reset wave dash to get himself a second goal. Shadi, did he just get another kickoff? He probably needs it. Within one now. 41 seconds to fight back this deficit. Ooh, Shadi really did not want to use his last 12 boost as he stuck around in nets. Shadi flicked it high, and I mean, he was going to be in big trouble no matter what. I think he just picked up that pad, actually. He might have been completely on zero, so there's no way he'd be able to beat Toxic to the ball. Another big delay from him isn't going to result in an instant goal, which it probably needed to be. If he wanted to stand a chance at getting two, has to just long shot it here and dream for a Toxic whiff. Toxic dodges a demo, clears it away, and we'll take a 2-1 lead. $100 on the line, courtesy of Epic Shadi. I mean, that's a great sign going forward. A nice reset and roll through the ball. I mean, you can use that to great effect. Sure, it's not really relevant here late in this game, but if you could see that from Shadi more in the future, he'll stand a better chance as Toxic takes it 2-1. Oh, I see you made the emote. Wait, it won't let me... Oh, it clashes. I'll have to take the other one off first. Okay, one sec. A little bit more to do here. You know what, I'm going to have to do it some other time. Game number 4. Shadi looking way fresher. Wait a second. This car looks amazing. What is this decal? I have not seen this one before. Is it a specific colorway or is it just... No, I like it. Wait, I didn't mean to make amazing sound like it's sarcastic. Because it does genuinely look cool. But I don't think I've ever seen it before. It was in the shop the last few days. Ah, I see. Shadi in a must-win scenario, as he's got to win 2 straight against the guy who did not make top 8s in Salt Mine. But certainly a player who's always felt capable. He's going to pre-flip to make it to this one in time. Little camera check as well to see what he's going to have to deal with from Shadi. We are all of a sudden having a more conventional ones game. I mean, this is definitely a high-scoring ones game, but normally we see at least a few of these moments in a series where you see a lot of scoring one way or the other. And it's looking like Shadi and Toxic maybe about to bring the offense, hopefully not just from the kickoff positions, as this kickoff goes a little bit more neutrally, and we've slowed down. Toxic going to start off with a 3-1 lead. Toxic going to make it 4-1 as he steals away possession here in the back corner. Shadi not expecting the backflip play on the ball. You just think a 2-year-old scribbled for this decal? I don't know. I feel like it's very... Yeah, it's 80s. It looks very 80s. Toxic. Reset wave dash. Does not lead to a goal. He's going to challenge this one from the ceiling. Able to steal it away from Shadi. Can Shadi find a way to get back around on this ball and convert it for a goal? Toxic's going to boost, but no, the power slide cut did not work. It was a really high bounce to try and read and collect. It's not going to work out this time for Shadi, who is now back in a decent spot. Will he look for that flick top left? Toxic very proactive and challenging. Long before Shadi has made a decision, he's been interrupted. Now can Shadi go the distance of the field? Has a reset, wants a flick, gets it, bottom left. Toxic, all he can do is guide it into the corner, and this is a big upgrade on Shadi's aerial game from what we've seen so far. It's going to end up being 122 kilometers per hour, but I think a lot of that comes from Toxic's help there at the end. Shadi cannot catch back up to this one. Toxic very low. This seems like a great opportunity to punish him, and sometimes it becomes even easier when you get the ball handed right to you. Ooh, was Toxic trying to chain some dashes? He jumped so quickly off. I don't know if that was a missed chain dash, because he dashed and then jumped so quickly in succession, and then eventually led to him giving the ball away. Shadi potentially going to reset the field again, all the way from his own back wall. A very intentional... Oh my goodness, Shadi. He arced this all the way from his own back wall, because the first touch is not even out towards the net. It's off to the right side of the field. And then he uses that to get around it and get resets to carry a top left. Taking a big hook across the entire field. That is definitely a Diaz challenge passed. And Toxic's got some lag on this kickoff, and that seems to be true. We continue. Toxic with a slight internet issue, and he immediately follows up with a kickoff goal. 5 or 4? We did pause it before Shadi scored. Shadi was under the impression he was going to score from his lagged kickoff. But the score was 4-4. Shadi flicks gonna go top right. Toxic cannot stop it. Very well placed shot. Past couple shots have been quite effective from Mr. Shadi. Not able to double jump here to get this one on target. As he collects the midfield 100. Toxic. Oh my goodness. Turning left and flicking right on the left side of the field. Maybe it's just because I watched so much Moxie, just not really expecting to see that turn. Shadi reset off the ball, but sent the ball soaring away from himself, and Toxic will push it out ahead of him and gets credited with a turtle goal? Wait, what? Ah, no, I see it. I see it on second watch. It's clear why it's a turtle goal. Yeah, never mind. Of course. Shadi threading a hook shot into a corner that Toxic does not feel like he needs to defend. So he will let him send it there. Shadi might go for another one of his full field air dribbles. Again, very intentionally a touch across his own net and then carrying it on that right side of the ball. This time it doesn't go quite as well as it did last time he set it up. He's going to turn on the ball and 0 boost. So a very important 50. And then forces Toxiic to turn away from the carry because he knew he was going to get demoed if he went up the side wall. Instead, into a flick that shadi is able to deny. But this is not going to be an easy save. Nice stop there on the initial shot. shadi makes sure to stick around and win the 50. Now he needs some boost, so he's going to take the ball into his opposite corner. And with 35 seconds, he's giving himself a real fighting chance here. Notice Toxiic in the air, transitions to the ground. This flick, though, isn't going to quite be enough. Sure, he'll be able to get a boost steal, but it's going to be hard to stay in control of the possession. Toxiic maybe forcing shadi into chipping that ball harder than he would have liked to. But a great cut around the ball to turn it into much better possession. And now he's going to side flip 50. Toxiic now in the net with 0 boost. Couldn't ask for much more if you're shadi, but you're going to have to clutch up in the next 8 seconds. shadi, low 50. Dash, can he keep the ball up? Chips it, going to carry it. Toxiic just needs to dunk it at all, and it will hit ground. Toxiic will take it. A 3-1 win in the $100 best of 5.